My friends, what's going on everyone? My name's Kai, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, it really means the world to me. Alright, so my friends, welcome to another episode of Video Game Memories. In this show, I talk about my favorite and worst gaming memories, growing up as a gamer in the 90s and beyond. I've got a lot of stories to tell you guys. I really hope that you enjoy them. Today, we're talking about Resident Evil 1 HD Remake. So, my friends, oh my lord do I love this game. Out of all the Resident Evil games, I would say this is probably maybe my number 2, maybe my top 3, definitely. This game means the world to me, and I've got some funny stories to tell you about it. So, guys, this game means a ton to me. This was the first game that ever actually scared me. The games that I had played before, I had played Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, and those games are great, those games are wonderful, but they're not really scary. And a reason why they're not very scary is because of the graphics, you know? You can only get so scared at an incredibly pixelated zombie, you know what I mean? So, for me, the first Resident Evil games that I played, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Nemesis, they were much more, kind of like an arcade game, if that makes any sense. They were much more less survival horror and more blow up all the zombies kind of thing. Not so much Resident Evil 3, but definitely Resident Evil 2. Whereas when this game was released, the graphics on it actually made it scary, you know? I know the graphics aren't that great anymore, but back in the day when this came out in like 2001, 2002, it was groundbreaking, and I'll never forget seeing that very first zombie do the head turnaround in this game. So cool. But guys, I have a really funny story to tell you, and I think you'll have a laugh at it, and it just goes to show what we do as children, and we don't even really think about it at all. So when I was young, this game was really hard for me to get through, right? How old was I when I was playing this? I was playing this when I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old, and this game was really difficult for me to kind of understand and work through. I've told you guys on the channel before that when I was young, I did not have internet at my house. I only had internet at my house in my first year of high school for studying and stuff, but we did not have internet at our house. So the only way that I was able to get like walkthroughs is when I would go over to my grandmother's house or my aunt's house or something like that, and maybe I could, you know, look it up online there. Well, there was this one time where my aunt was having a big housewarming party. She had just moved into a mansion. My aunt and uncle are like the head of biology at University of Toronto. So when they did that, the university gave them a house to live in, right? They gave them a house to live in, and we went to this housewarming party there, and this house was gigantic. It was a mansion, right? And while all of the adults were, you know, congregating and stuff like that in the living room and in the kitchen and stuff like that, me and my sister were just allowed to go and adventure the house, right? And I found the computer room. And I asked my aunt, hey, do you mind if I look on the computer because I'm playing a video game and I don't know where to go? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So she sets me up on the computer, absolutely no problem. So what I did was, I knew that this was like my only chance to actually like look up anything, because again, we didn't have internet at home. So I went on GameFAQs, right? I went on GameFAQs. This is way back in the day before, you know, really nice walkthroughs were done with photos and everything like that. Back in the day, if you looked up a walkthrough, it was just text. It was just text telling you what to do. So I went on to GameFAQs and I looked up full walkthrough, right? And in this game, there are 2 full scenarios. There's a Jill scenario and there's a Chris scenario, right? But this walkthrough had everything. It had both scenarios, it had all the bonus material, it had everything like that. It must have been, you know, like 200 pages long or something like that. Well, I printed the whole thing. I printed the whole thing, and I remember I didn't really realize how many pages there were. I just kind of opened up the walkthrough and then pressed print on the computer. And for the next 4 or 5 hours, because you got to remember, these aren't laser inkjet printers. These are like old school line printers, you know? So after like 2 or 3 hours of staying at my aunt's house, it still had not been finished. It still had not been finished. The stack of papers was like this big. And then I remember we had to get going. But the printing was not finished yet, and it did not seem to be like it was going to be finished anytime soon. So what I did was I took my Game Boy, right? I had my Game Boy at the time. I took my Game Boy and I stuck it in the couch, right, to buy time, because I had to say to my parents, oh, well, we can't leave yet because I lost my Game Boy and I have to find my Game Boy first. So I searched for my Game Boy. I looked. Either way, I waited until the printing was finally finished, and the stack of papers was like an entire block of printing paper. It was huge, and it was on one of those old school printers where all the paper's attached to itself, and it has the dots, a dot matrix printer. Oh my lord! But I remember taking that, and I went up to my parents, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I found my Game Boy. But then I also had this, like, encyclopedia with me. And they were like, what is this? Where did you get this? And I said, oh, my aunt let me print it. And they're like, oh, that was very nice of her. That's a lot of printing. And then, you know, fast forward to a couple days later, my aunt calls my family and is like, what the hell happened? Why is my printer completely out of ink, out of paper? What on earth happened? So I got quite a talking to about that, about how expensive printer ink and paper is back in the early 2000s. But that was just great. That, for me, the memory of that will always be there immediately. Hey, have you played Resident Evil 1 HD? Oh yeah, I did. I printed up the entire GameFAQs walkthrough for it when I was a kid at my aunt's house. Either way, guys, I love this game. I love the mansion in this game. I think that if I ever had like billions of dollars, I would buy a big plot of land and just build video game houses there. And I think the very first one that I would definitely build is a mansion from this game. So cool. Guys, my favorite boss in this game is the snake. I love the snake boss in this game. Very cool. Very cool. I also really like the shark battle. At one point, if you've never played this game, it gets absolutely wild. So all of these animals are infected by a virus, and that includes giant great white sharks. So there's a part in this game where you go into like a shark aquarium, I guess. It's great. If you guys have never played this game, please give it a try. It's not hard to find now. You can find it on any system. The remake of the HD remake is already out now. It's been out for years. Give it a try. Give it a try. I'm sure that you will love it. Another thing that I want to point out about this game is just how sad and depressing the Lisa Trevor storyline is in this game. There is one character, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's one character who in this game who has been non-stop experimented on but refuses to die. It's a very, very sad tale. It's a very sad tale. But guys, those are my favorite memories with this game. What are yours? What are yours? I would love to hear what are your favorite memories. Did you ever go to your aunt's house and print out an entire GameFAQs for this game? Tell me about some of your favorite memories. I would love to hear it. Alright guys, now it's the time of the video where I plug my merch. My friends, thank you so much. Guys, I am going to be doing something absolutely amazing in just over a year. I'm going to be biking across Japan to raise awareness for men's mental health. It is going to go amazing, and I'm so excited. Guys, I would love for you to be here during that. Consider subscribing to the channel. Any money that I make through AdSense, through donations, through super likes, and through my merch company, everything is getting saved right now, and it's going towards buying a bicycle when I get to Japan. I'm going to go to Japan, buy a bike across the entire thing, and then sell the bike, donate the money to charity. Guys, if you want to be a part of that, consider buying some merch. It would really help me out. Drop a super thanks or anything like that on this video. It would really help me out, and you will know that not only are you helping me, but you're helping a great charity as well. Guys, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon, and
Thank you for watching そばリビング